In this video, I'd like to welcome you to the first module of this semester and also go through the module with you. So that I'm just going to walk you through it, talk you through it a little bit, just so you understand what I expect from you. I'm sure that some of you are like, I don't need any explanation. I get it. You know, I know how to work in an online class, and that's fine. But I urge you to go ahead and just take a listen here. I'm starting from the outside, and I wanted to just one more time show you how to get into the module. So from your course home page, you go to Content, and then you can just click the first item in the module, and that has it opened up. And of course, remember, you can collapse everything and then sort of slowly expand things as you work through them. So this video appears on this item 1A, and then every module, there will be a session checklist to guide you through the things that you want to do. You can print this checklist. You can do one of two things. You can read it and just use your memory to remember that you have done things. Some people like to work like that. I don't. You could, copy everything and paste it into a Word document and check it off like that. Or you could print it by clicking the more options ... and hitting print, and then you could print from there. Actually, I wonder if that would work. No, that doesn't work. Let's see. To print, I actually recommend that you probably hit the undock button that we've talked about before, and then do that and that. And then you can print from there. You can hit Control P, or you can hit File Print, and that should print what you need to print. Something that I'm going to be using later in the semester is an actual checklist tool in Desire to Learn, where you can go through and you can check the things that you've done, put a little check mark in a box, and you can save that. And I don't know how to use it yet, but it exists. And so hopefully by the third module, you'll start seeing that. And I may keep this checklist in as well. I don't know, because I just learned about this other checklist feature. So we'll probably have that coming up a little bit later also. So you work through the checklist. So in this module, what I want you to do is read the syllabus carefully, maybe print it out and read it. Read the course plan to see what we're going to be doing this semester. Watch the video that's linked on the course plan. There's a video called Why the Course Plan is So Important and How to Use It. Read about our upcoming class meetings. We have some optional meetings coming up, and you can read about them. There's 2 face-to-face and 1 that's online, and you can sign up. And if you click over here, because we're in the syllabus, course plan, communication, and instructor section, look over here for that corresponding section and our upcoming class meetings, and you can learn all about it. You can sign up on this wiki page by clicking edit, and then you type your name and then you hit save. I'm going to go back to this checklist right here. What else? I urge you to give me your contact information through the student contact form. It's a Google document. If you give me your phone number and maybe your email address, but mostly your phone number, I think, is pretty important, because a lot of you probably text. And so if you ever call me, I know you called, and that's really important for me to return your call, because I get a lot of spam calls that I never return. And if nobody's left me a message, I would never call the number back. But if you input your contact info, I'll actually import you as one of my contacts into my phone. I'll know who you are, and I'll also sort of chase you down if I see you call. I'll probably inquire as to why you're calling, see if you need help. So you're more likely to get help that way. The course questions and answers board is a board I wanted to make you familiar with. It's just always available in the class, and you can get to it through the discussion tab at any point. So those are just some sort of reading things that you want to do, so you learn how the class works, what you're going to be doing this semester. And then we're going to have some orientation related tasks. So I want you to read about Desire to Learn and Coursed-In. Basically, this is just my way of showing you that you do have tutorials. And let me model for you as you finish things. Make sure you close them down so that you don't get overwhelmed. So I'll click the About D2L Coursed In, and I'll undock it so we can see it a little better. Just some information about basic technologies to make your computer work. If you're having computer issues, you need to attend to them and check out these links, and they may have information about how you maybe need Flash Player, or you may need to update your Java. Although we're going to probably have fewer problems with D2L than we did with Blackboard. That's at least what people are saying. You still may have some issues. So go visit those, and if you can't figure out what's going on with your computer, why it's not working, you need to contact UWG Online and get some help. There we have help for working and desire to learn, tutorials. I have two options I've presented here: the UWG Online tutorials that were made by our in-house folks, and the Atomic Learning tutorials as well. And then, of course, you can always call UWG Online and get help from them. But this UWG Online website is just, it should be a place that you are familiar with, that you know how to get to. It's linked always at the top of the course. So it's up there, you go to it, and you click Students and Faculty, Student Help, and you get right to it. And so just keep that handy, okay? You're going to want to select a USB webcam, so read about that. And participate in the introductory discussion. There's a little redundancy between this discussion and the D2L profile that you'll also do, so feel free to copy and paste. You can self-plagiarize on this. If you tell me what your hobbies are right here, then you can copy that passage and put it right into your D2L profile, which is another thing that I want you to do, is your D2L profile. So, you can check out the instructions there for that. And, let me go back to the discussion very quickly. Discussions kind of have rules, and you should read about them in the syllabus. But then here I try to outline them again. You do an initial discussion post. Generally, this is the way it works. For most discussions, you'll do an initial discussion post, and it's usually due by Thursday at midnight. We have, all of our modules are 2 weeks long, and so I'm okay with you doing that initial post by the second Thursday of the module. Okay? It's better if you can get it in before that, but we can do it, you can do it up to that point. So you do an initial post, a first post where you answer the prompt. Okay? And then you also want to make 2 follow-up posts by Sunday midnight. If you need more information about online discussions, you can click this link and it will tell you. It'll expand on what I just told you. You may see it written in places, and I'll actually edit right now and change it. It says if a module lasts 2 or more weeks, then make your first posting by the first Thursday. I'm just going to say last. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's better if you did make the post by the first Thursday, because it just doesn't leave a lot of time for people to discuss things. And most people will do it in that timely fashion, but some will procrastinate, put it off, and get less out of the discussion as a result. But I'm gonna add that flexibility this semester because of the D2L transition. I just think that we're all gonna, have a little bit of a struggle with it. Not too much. I don't want to give us all an excuse to fall back on here, but I'll put that flexibility in this semester. So that gives you a lot of time each week to think about your discussion. All right, so you have an assignment to do your D2L profile. Now let's look at the teacher welcome video. The purpose of the teacher welcome video is to take that traditional teacher letter that teachers send out. Early childhood teachers do this a lot. They send out a teacher letter in the summer right before school starts, welcoming the student to class. And in an online class like the one that we're in, teachers typically do a welcome video. They might do a welcome letter. They might send out an email before the semester starts if they're really on top of it, which I normally do, but I didn't get to this year. But what I want you to do, part of what I need to do in this class is try to help you think about new learning environments that you might be encountering in your future teaching situation. So the point behind this is to get you thinking, how would you do a teacher welcome video? Not a teacher welcome letter. Let's pretend that you're an online teacher, and I provide an argument for why you might want to pretend you might someday be an online teacher. You may not think you're going to be one, but if you look at trends in the state of Georgia and beyond, there's going to be opportunities for you to become an online teacher, and you might even, don't know how you're going to get there. Maybe you're drawn to it, or maybe you get there accidentally, but it could happen to you. So that's why one of the first just very simple assignments we do is what I call the teacher welcome video plan. You're going to just kind of think about, okay, if I had to do a teacher welcome video for my 3rd grade class, it's fully online, or for my 7th grade science class, it's fully online, or my 10th grade Spanish class, it's fully online, what would I say? How would I quickly welcome students to the class? Maybe I also need to keep in mind I might also be talking to parents. And so that's the rationale behind this, is to give you an opportunity to think about that and to kind of learn from my example, because I did a teacher welcome video, and it could certainly be improved upon. So you can look at the video I did that was on the homepage of the course as an example, and say, okay, Hewitt did a welcome video. How could I make that even better? Maybe shorter, maybe more to the point, or whatever. So, so you're gonna do a teacher welcome video plan. So let's look at that assignment ever so quickly. I'm gonna undock it. I give you a little argument about why and how virtual schooling is on the rise in the state of Georgia. I talk about the traditional welcome letter. I give you an example of a welcome letter that my son got from his 2nd grade teacher, and it's a great, just perfect little welcome letter. And then I looked at that welcome letter, and I just broke down, what is that? I asked myself, what does that letter do? What are its functions? And so, it does all of these things. It conveys excitement. It conveys interest in the incoming student. It talks about important next steps, ends on a positive note, introduces the teacher, does all these things, right? There could be other things you want, other functions that you want your welcome letter, in this case welcome video, to perform. And that's what we're going to be thinking about here. So your first assignment here is not to make the welcome video. You're not doing that in this first module. You're going to do that in a few weeks, okay? Not in this module. You're doing part A. You're doing the first part. You're planning it. And part of the reason I'm having you do this is so that, and I'm worried because I'm not seeing an important document here. But what you're going to do is you're going to plan your video, and you're going to write your plan on a Word document and submit that to the Dropbox here. So you're going to download the Word document, write out your plan on it, and then you can upload it here into this Dropbox. So you can add a file, like add that Word document, and then you're going to submit it. Okay? And so that's all you're going to do. It's your plan. Later on, you're going to take that paper plan, that plan that you submit here, and you're actually going to make a video where you figure out where you want to frame your shot. You really figure out what you want to say, and you're going to film it, and you're going to turn that in. Okay? So that's what's coming a little later. For now, you're just doing a plan. It's not a super serious or difficult assignment. Just kind of jot out some ideas for the types of things that you want to say. I did come in here, something I'd forgotten to do was actually upload the template. I want you to download this document to make your teacher welcome video plan. It's an RTF document, rich text format, but you can just open it in Microsoft Word. You'll download it, and you'll fill it out. So here are the functions that I talked about earlier that were in that example letter, and then over here on this side you're going to actually just write out some sample script for things you could say that kind of address that. And this is a little bit of a creative exercise, so you may not know everything you want to say, or you might want to pretend some things, like maybe you want to pretend that you're going to teach 7th grade science. So why don't you talk a little bit about what you're going to learn about, or what you want students to do. So you can be a little bit creative. All right, so that's enough about that. I'm getting long-winded again here. I want to tell you about one other thing you're going to see throughout the semester. So I'm going to go ahead and close these items over here that that we've already looked at. I'm looking now at item 5, Voices from the Field. You do want to read about the instructions for Voices from the Field, and then you're going to go into the discussion board. Each module, so each module, there's 7 modules total, according to the course plan. There are 7 modules total. Session 1, Session 2, Session 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In each module, you'll participate in an ongoing discussion board. So you'll come into the same discussion board, and you'll post 7 times across the whole semester. This is a different kind of discussion board. You don't have to do follow-up posts. You don't have to talk to anybody else. Go ahead and read the instructions. But what you're posting about is what I provided you. I'm going to provide you with interviews with people that are in the field of education, that are practicing, and they have an opinion about how we should be integrating technology. I want to try to get a lot of classroom teachers, but I started you off with a professor at the University of West Georgia whom I very much admire, Professor Jill Drake. One of my former students interviewed her here and just asked her, and she provides a good overview of a lot of the issues you want to think about when you think about technology integration. So that's why we included her. And what I want you to do is listen to the interview. It's under 10 minutes long. And then all you have to do for each interview that you listen to, you need to write down 2 to 3 takeaways. Just 2 to 3 points that you find worthwhile or interesting, things maybe you don't want to forget, things that maybe you didn't agree with. So maybe it's like I don't know what you'd call that, an anti-takeaway, but something that maybe that's a stimulant, like, oh, she said that, I don't agree with that, but I'm going to think about that some more. So that's what I mean by takeaway, something, points of interest. And it's not, so the discussion's not meant to actually be a discussion so much, but it's kind of you kind of broadcasting your takeaways to others, but you don't have to talk to each other. You don't have to write in great depth in here. I just kind of want some evidence that you watched the videos and that you took some things away from them and that you did that. Sometimes there will be more than one interview in a session. I almost gave you 2 this week, but then I was like, no. 1 is enough for the orientation session. But maybe next week you'll see 2. Maybe in session 3 you'll see 2. Sometimes it'll be 1. Sometimes it'll be 2. All right, so that's this first module. I hope I don't have you too overwhelmed. I normally do not go over things in this much depth. I just want to emphasize that. It's just that it's the beginning of the semester. 5% of you have probably never taken an online class, so this is partly for you guys. We're also in the new D2L. It's the first module. I have to be extra careful to make sure that you know what to do, or we will all be in trouble, okay? So I promise you I will get more succinct and brief starting immediately. Okay, y'all enjoy the first module. Let me know how I can help. Send me an email up here if you have any questions. Send me text messages on my phone, which is in the contacts. Actually, go to the class list. You can find my phone number in there, etc. All right, enjoy.